Oh, Shay's gonna call in. Shay is already trying to get the phone. There we go.
All right, it's probably Shay. Hi, Shay.
Welcome to Call in America. This is Kelvin and Taylor. Where you call? Who's calling and where you calling from, caller?
This is Shay from Phoenix, Arizona.
Hi,
Hey, Shay. You know the topic today. We talking about Nick Cannon, baby. Get into it.
Okay, so you know what? I've been listening since the start, and you know what? I just wanted to say that, what Nick Cannon was really talking about, he was trying to be as scientific as possible.
Come on now.
When talking about, the origin, Jewish, not necessarily Jewish, but the Semitic language, and what was promised to the children of the, Semitic language, and, what happened in Africa and around the world with, white supremacy. He was trying to be very, scientific with that.
Sure.
And what happened with CES, they just kind of came through, took out 30 seconds of the conversation, labeled it anti-Semitic, and he called that. The funny thing is, his guest called that out before it happened, because it happened to him like 10, 20 years ago.
He absolutely said that. Because I watched the full interview, and that's exactly what he said. Absolutely.
Exactly. And the article came out to dissuade people from even wanting to watch the interview or even wanting to consider it a intellectual conversation, which is that's exactly what it was. So when he was talking about people who were lesser than, he was talking about the deficiency of having less pigmentation in your. Well, yeah, a deficiency in melanin is considered a recessive gene to having dark melanated skin, since we all come from the motherland of Africa.
Come on now. Hey now.
So he was being very specific, very scientific about that, and he was saying because of that, in the first off that, that they didn't really need the sun, as much sunlight.
Yeah.
Because there is a sunlight deficiency, there was animalistic, savage behavior that came out of that region of the world. And as you noted before, burning women at the stake.
Come on now.
Pillaging and burning, the Vikings. You come down, and they meet these people who are from children of the sun, who are black people who paint themselves in the same image of God as God, who share their secrets with these people. They leave, they come back, and they're not only do they rob these people of who they are, their identity, but they impregnate their women, and they take a portion of those people across the seas and separate them from their not only their identity, but their source of power.
Come on now. Hey.
And so, that's why I just kind of we're only having half of the conversation, because if we go to even the last, I want to say 45 minutes of the interview, he gets into how, the people who own the media in America were Jewish. And so you're going to be called anti-Semitic if you just say, hey, all the people who own the media who, feed information to people that they're Jewish.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's currently today, if that's currently the same, way it is, but...
correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys... Correct me, anybody correct me if I'm wrong and put it in the comments, but I do believe, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying that I'm against it. I'm not saying that I have any opinion about it. I just think that this is a fact. I think the Jewish, not faith, but the Jewish community, they have a very large stake in the media. I mean, it just is what it is. And so, and that just is what it is. That's not a bad thing or a negative thing. Or a psychologist that did some studies on some stuff. So he was not just speaking out of his ass. He wasn't just speaking just to say something. He had been talking to people. He'd been talking to scholars. He'd been talking to people about this stuff. And so, when he spoke up on something, it's interesting that he was shut down for it. So it's,
they took away his shows too, right?
Took away his shows.
One thing I want to actually even point out is because Nick Cannon wasn't even talking about us versus them. He was trying to lay out the story for young people, young black men specifically. Supremacy was really formed and created. It was enacted through the colonization of Africa and the institutionalization of slavery and racism in America. And that it was completely done to remove this this sector of people who were descended from gods, who have every type of ability to surpass the people who are oppressing them.
Wow.
When people get online and they say, "Oh, racism is in every country, it's in every form," not like in America.
Hey, baby.
Not like what we.
I have always said that. Shay, thank you so much for calling in. We're going to open up the lines for another call. It's a hot night tonight, baby. We want to hear from everybody. Thank you, baby.